Wow. What we're going to be doing today is pulling the engine, transmission, and transfer case out. And since I'm a Morrvair guy, I do not own an engine hoist. Believe it or not, I've never owned an engine hoist. So we're going to be pulling this engine out with my wrecker because I don't have an engine hoist. So that's why we're outside working in the dirt like common criminals, like catalytic converter thieves, working out here in the elements. Rudy made these yesterday, so hopefully they're strong enough. They should be just fine. And I'm hoping the hood's up high enough. I don't know. Pulling engines out the top is something I don't have a lot of experience with. So stick with us and we'll show you what it's like. I guess that can just ride right there, huh? All right, exciting special delivery. Coming here to check out what we got. These are heavy. They're 1,700 pounds a piece or something like that. We got a project coming up this fall you're not gonna wanna miss, and these are the axles for it. Construction. You know those pictures you see at Army surplus yards? Isn't this a mite bit a far sight better looking? Air brakes.
Those are bigger than 5-ton axles.
Oh yeah, they're way bigger. These are M-wrap axles.
What'd you do?
It weighs more than your bus.
This is our All right, now that we got the engine and transmission out, we're going to be taking the transmission over to St. George Transmission. I said transmission a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, the transmission is going over to St. George Transmission, and the engine, we're going to be pulling the stuff off that we need for the new motor engine.
And here's a sneak peek.
Wow. What you're looking at is a 4.6 stroker from Golan Engines. So I don't know all the specs, but I'm sure there's a piece of paper that's going to tell me. So it was broken on a dyno. They did a dyno run on it. 273 horsepower and 315 foot-pounds of torque. Check out this decal. Golan 4.6 stroker. Got an aftermarket high-performance head on it. It's got 24-pound injectors. Got 2 large shirts. Everything we need. All right.
Sweet.
Okay, so we're taking this over to St. George Transmission. They're gonna go through it. It's working fine, but it's got about 250,000, 260,000 miles on it. So they're gonna go through it, replace everything with good parts, and they're gonna bump up the line pressure just a little for the added torque and horsepower that we're gonna be making. Then we're gonna put it back to work.
So in a few weeks, we'll have a rebuilt transmission.
Hopefully
to put back in the Banana.
So this is the original engine out of the Banana. It's a 2001 Jeep Cherokee. This engine has 260,000 miles on it. It's really not showing any signs that it's done, but we just wanted a little bit more power, and now's the time to do it. So we pulled it out, and believe it or not, this thing never leaks. It's seeping everywhere, obviously, but it never drips. I can pull it on anybody's driveway. It's going
put
in.
it on a pedestal and coat it in bronze.
No, we're gonna put it on a running stand. It's like, here, the original engine of the Banana, $5.
So what are we gonna do, Lizzie?
We're pressure washing the engine bay of the Banana.
Pressure washing?
Yes.
Okay.
Pressure washing.
You can sit in it. Oh, there's nowhere to sit.
I'm sweating already. I was up on the mountain this morning and it was 70 degrees and overcast.
Oh, that sounds
and then I
wonderful.
get down here and it's 105 and sunny.
So how'd Lizzie do?
Good job. So the next step. What is the next step, Trevor?
Push it in the bay.
Let it drip for a minute.
Yeah.
So we've got to get a steering box on the outside of this. So I'm thinking the next step for you is going to be to peel all this wiring back and tie it up in some meaningful way. And then I'm going to take the plasma cutter to this, probably cut back to here. I don't know where exactly. This has to go to get the steering box in. I'm not going to cut any of this. So maybe I'll just cut this out. Just get the steering box in and worry about the fender later. I should just stick to one thing. What's the chances of that happening?
0.
All right, so I've mentioned a couple of times that I really like the Toyota steering box design because it's so easy to adapt. Contrary to what I've said about all the other things about Toyota that are hard to adapt, their steering boxes are amazing. So, I'll show you the difference here. It has a nice flat surface. So it's really easy to just fabricate something and bolt it to it. Like, you know, this frame's flat right here. It's not gonna be hard to adapt it to it. The box off the Jeep, and this is like the same box on like Dodge Dakotas and some Chevys and I don't know, maybe Fords, who knows. But they've got, it's not flat. You have to have an adapter, something to make it flat. So this, the Cherokee uses a spacer. Other things will notch the frames, they'll build the frames for it. But that's the #1 reason. Also, these boxes look a little beefier than the Toyota, to me anyway they do, but I know from Demolition Derby, these are not as strong as these are. So, that's why I use Toyota boxes. 86 Toyota 4x4. All right, so I'm super lazy, so I like the idea of using this hole. Then I only have to fabricate 2 more mounts, but I feel like it needs to be down another inch. I don't know what to do because the cheap lazy side of me says to do that, and there's nothing in the way of me making these other ones. They'd be super easy to mount. But what I'm trying to accomplish here with my depth is I need my drag link at ride height to be as level as possible. And this is sitting high because there's no weight of the engine in here or anything. Maybe we should take those out and try to get this closer to ride height right now. But anyway, I'm afraid we're gonna have too much angle, which will induce like bump steer like right off the bat. So when it's level, you've got quite a bit of suspension travel both up and down before the length changes from the angle and introduces bump steer into the equation. So that's what we're trying to limit. The steering box placement now, my consideration is I got to put it in the right place for bump steer. If this doesn't do it, I've got some shorter springs over there. It's got to go down. It has to go down. There's no two ways around it. It's got to go lower. It's got to go down.
Honky tonk.
1 inch. It's got to go down 1 inch lower. I need a new. My glasses are fogging up. Far more dangerous to be doing this blind than doing this with one eye. It's not just fog, it's like liquid. It is condensed into liquid.
Condensation is disgusting.
No, just the way that he put it and where it came from.
Condensation.
Thanks.
What you got there?
My Matt's Off-Road Recovery mug.
Where can somebody get their own?
mattsoffroadrecovery.com.
All right. Okay. About right there. That do it?
That would probably do it.
I fudged it a little bit because I think we're going down another inch about on the suspension. So it is day, let's say 7.
Yeah.
And we are working on the steering box mount. We're going to show you how that's going down. We've already welded in the spacers for the new locations right here, here, and here. For the Toyota steering box, it sits on the outside of the frame. It's going to clear up just tons of space for a radiator. So these are the bolts that are going to hold the steering box on, but right now I'm just using them to preload this reinforcement plate that we're putting on so that it's nice and tight, sandwiched together really good, so that will be strong. Okay, so the next step is to fill in all these little holes that I cut for little plug welds. And then we've got to get the structure down here on both sides and get the new cross member across here that goes under. It protects the bottom of the radiator and it gives us the structure to mount the winch plate to, and it's going to be the bottom of the radiator support. So it's going to be built similar to the way we did it on the Morrvair. So, and we got to get it all done before we cut this out because I'm worried about this kind of shifting and moving with this missing. And when we cut this a little bit, because we have cut a little bit of it out, it's definitely under some forces, some stresses. So that's why I want to get it anchored before we cut it. Whoa, those are big ones. They're going to be welded in good.
Yeah.
All right. So this is how this goes.
Okay.
Did a lot of thinking yesterday. That's all, Trevor.
You're supposed to go out walking after midnight.
That's not too bad.
We'll start the bidding at scrap cost. We'll give you $1.
If you take it.
Yep.
All right. Well, that didn't move at all. I believe what we set out to do, we did. It's gonna fit. So that is the new radiator, and it's gonna be replacing the old radiator that went right there. These are really wide, but man, that is short. This is the same radiator that's in the Morrvair, so it shouldn't struggle at all to keep this cool. Okay, so we have got the steering box kind of mocked up in place and mounted on its real mounts. We've got more reinforcement to do. This lower cross member slash radiator support slash radiator protector slash frame thing, we got it in place. We've got more, I mean, there's more to do, but you can see that the steering box fits, the oversized radiator fits. There's going to be some considerations, as there always is when you're doing a lot of custom work, but yeah, this is where we're at. I am very happy with how this is coming together, and thanks for watching.